Hi, my name is Hugh McKenna from Asgard Athletics. This week we're going to be going over the warrior swing. This is one of my favorite swings to perform because not only is it functional and it feels good, it also makes me feel like I'm transported back in time into a more warrior-centric time where people were swinging around like clubs, swords, axes, and all sorts of things like that. If you ever look at art from like those time periods, like the Greek, the Roman, the Viking Age, etc., those guys were all chiseled, quite literally when you're talking about sculptures. They're just jacked out of their minds. And that's because they're swinging around heavy pieces of metal all day long and in very functional patterns. Okay? All right, so the warrior swing, you're basically gonna be in a split stance here. Whichever hand has the weight, it's gonna go up and over your shoulder like you're cocking it back, almost like you were gonna like throw a football. But if you had a sword or an axe, it would be to bring down on your opponent. Okay, so as I bring this down, I bring my elbow first, then my hand. So I'm here, I'm behind my head, I get this stretch in like my anterior oblique sling here, right? Pulling, and then that rubber band rebounds down as I bring my elbow forward, then my hand. And I'm gonna step forward at the same time. So I get that open stretch in the anterior oblique sling, I step forward, my elbow and hand come down, and then to take up the momentum of the weight coming down, I'm going to hinge my hips and catch it right here. Then I'm going to use my glute on this side to step back right into my next swing. So I'm here, I have it in my right hand, my right leg's in the front, I have a soft bend in my knees. I'm going to come back like this, okay, bringing my elbow back, stretching this anterior oblique sling. I'm going to come forward with my elbow and my shoulder, then my hand's going to follow and I'm going to take a step forward. So come forward, and then right here I hinge my hip and I catch the momentum of the club as it comes down. Okay, from here I'm going to squeeze my glute and I'm going to come right back into the next rep right here. So down and up. Hip hinge, stretch, hip hinge, stretch, hip hinge, stretch. From another angle, my right leg's in the front, I have it in my right hand, I bring it back, I stretch like I'm about to throw a football or a javelin, stretch, step forward, hip hinge, catch, stretch, hip hinge, catch, stretch, hip hinge, catch. So that's the warrior swing. It's a great exercise because it uses a lot of different athletic movements and functional patterns, right? You're hip hinging, you're loading the glute, you're coming in and out of hip flexion, you're using the gait cycle as you're moving forward and back through space, you're working that transverse rotational plane, you're working the anterior oblique sling, you're stretching it and then closing it, stretching it and closing it. A lot of different patterns. You're working like flexibility and strength in the arm going back, you're working that pattern of like throwing and punching. It's great, it hits a lot of different areas at the same time. Put this one in your toolbox. Let me know in the comments how this one goes, or if you have any questions about the technique, I'd be glad to answer them. If you can, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the weekly videos coming out. Thanks.